So today we have quite an interesting topic. Today our topic is being the main contributor to Malaysian GDP, Malaysian gross domestic product. So this talk is brought to you by IUMW, International University of Malaya Wales, and we would like to invite their speaker, Ms. Chin Yi, to start this webinar. All right, over to you, Ms. Chin Yi.
Thank you, Leon. How are you, everyone? Is it good today? Are you having a very good rest just now for this session? If no one responds, I will assume that you have a good rest and you are ready for today's topic. The today topic will be the main contributor to Malaysian GDP. I think there might be some of the business students here who take economy. So if you take economy, GDP should have some idea on it. I'm not sure whether is it in your exam, but this is definitely a topic that we will discuss every day. So what is GDP, gross development product? So we get to know that our Malaysia income depends on different sectors. So basically there's three main sectors that we will focus. So how about real estate? We get to know service line is the best. Why? Because service line, a lot of things is under service. It's just like insurance under service. If you send a car to service. And real estate as well. Real estate and the relevant business also under the service line. But why the real estate? How can the house become the service? Let me share with you. When someone wants to buy a house, the house will not come in front of you, say that I'm ready to sell, please buy me. But definitely there will be someone called agent. It's commonly known as a property agent, and they are delivering their service. And we also get to know that when we stay in the condominium, the apartment, do you know, is there anyone COVID positive in this building? We have no idea, but there's someone always care for us, and the so-called property management. Yes, can't deny we need to pay for their fees because they are serving us, they are giving out their service. So with that, they are the one who will tell us, dear value tenant or owner, please take note that there is one COVID positive in our building. Please take care of yourself, stay safe. And that type of people, property management, they also fall under real estate. So we get to know in the service line, real estate play a very important role. And you can see from the chart. The chart I take is 2019. Of course, as we get to know that in 2020 and 2021, somehow our business is being affected. Our economy is being affected. It can't deny, mainly because of movement control. When everyone is a good girl, good boy, stay at home, and of course, there is something for us to adopt the new norm. When we adopt the new norm, there's something we need to change. But regardless how it changed, we still need the service. We still need someone to help us. We still need someone to help us to find a house to stay as a shelter. We still need someone to let us know that where is a case in our building and what is the thing that we need to take care. So we can see in this property line, in the real estate, is it really that important? And we can see it proven. Although we might say, my parents seldom buy the house, they are just stay here and they do not really transact every day. We are still remain in the house for 5 and 10 years. Yes, but in the whole Malaysia, as we get to know, property is not only for shelter purpose. They might for investment, they might for business, and they might for their next generation. So we can see for a property, there's so much usage for every individual. And sometimes, some of the people, they might need to upgrade. Maybe when your parents is just 4 of them, lovely couple, they enjoy to stay in a small house. But because of you, they get to know that it's very important for you to have a good environment. They shifted, they upgraded. So with all this, we get to know actually every year we can see the numbers of transactions is very high. Even though we say pandemic, but it doesn't matter because we still need to go to life, we say go to work, we still need to move on, and we still have our goal to achieve. So we can see in 2020 and 2021, the transaction numbers is still high. So economy not that good, I can't deny. And some of the individuals be affected, I also can't deny. But one thing I confirm is regardless what happened, there's still something need to go on, the service need to go on, and the real estate still need to be developed. Why we say real estate will be the main contributor? Because real estate is not basically a house that you and me is staying, but it's more than that. There's a supply chain. We get to know that we're involved in the construction, the developer, the profession like surveyor, engineer, all those are in this cycle. So when everyone is playing their role, this part, this industry become very important. And that's why we need to know how it can relate to ourselves. So we can see again in detail, we can see in Malaysia, there's so much transaction. KL, Selangor area, it also keep going on. So it's very important for us to discover why a property which costs at least, if low cost in Selangor will be 120K, such a high numbers, high price, why still so many people transacted? So are you ready to know? Are you ready to explore more, student? If yes, maybe you can give me some response to have a thumbs up, and I will get to know that you are ready, and it's time for us to discover more what is real estate. So in real estate, as I mentioned, in this supply chain, we get to know that someone called contractor, they need to construct the property, and developer is the seller. And of course, in between, there will be have different roles. We get to know there might be a broker to introduce the sales and marketing to make the marketing awareness, the lending. I want to buy a house. I need to go for the loan, get it from a bank. And after that, I need the property management to help me to take care. I need them to help me to take care, to make sure that the lift goes on, the swimming pool is nice, the landscape is pretty. Property management is there. And last is a professional service. Professional service, yes, it's like a lot. It's just like a hospital. When you go to hospital, it depends on which one that you want. And of course, if you are just a small symptom, the first person who you look for, we look for GP, we go for a clinic, that's it. But if you have a certain symptom that might be treated, or the hottest news in the newspaper nowadays, then you might go for the other department. Of course, depends on what is the illness. So same goes to property. In property, we get to know developer and the sales or the agent, that's it. But behind that, there's also some hero, some service that we need to aware. And they are the property management and also the valuable. So we can see in general, we name it as real estate is a housing market is the property, and mainly support by these three roles: estate agent, or for easier to know as a property agent, valuable, and also the property manager. So what are they doing? Do they really relate to our life? Do they really contribute much? For estate agent, of course, it's very general, like what you want when you want to buy or sell property, we look for estate agent. But estate agent, is it just like a middle person, just do a transaction, buy and sell, that's it? No, they know more than that, because for a property, it's just like for a person. Do you have IC? I believe you have IC, and you get to know that that's very important document. If you're missing, then you must look for policeman. Same goes to property. Every property, they come with their IC also. And their IC also have their detail, their numbers, their name, everything. And if that is missing, we also need to look for the policeman. So same goes to estate agent. For the property, they need to make sure that you are the right person for the right property, so that they can help you to do the transaction later on. And of course, sometimes we get to know they might involve in the lawyer or the banker. No worry, estate agent is the one to help us on that. And how about valuable? Who is the valuable? Sometimes we will think this house should be worth 500,000. This house should be worth 1 million. But who is the one who set the pricing? It's unlike Pasar Malam, it's unlike shopping mall, you go there and there's price tag 100 ringgit. But property do not have any price tag. We just have the house number. So what the valuer do? Valuer is the profession in valuation. They will help us to value every property. It's just like every one of us. We can't say that the student in the class number 1 all is A grade student. The student in the last class is all C grade student. We cannot value like that. You still need to go through for the exam. And based on the exam, then teacher will know that what is your standard and what is the rate that you entitle so that you can proceed for the next level. Same goes to valuable. Even though it's 2 houses next to each other, but they definitely will have something different. Am I right? Your house definitely is different with your neighbor, regardless it's the external or the internal, the design, the equipment, the fitness definitely is different. There's no 100% similar house. So from that, same goes to valuable. They will go and value every single unit. So every transaction for the individual, they will go and get the valuation to make sure that the seller is selling at a fair price. And of course, for the corporate, you always get to know that when some company, they might need to let go, then some company might take over, merge and acquisition. So who is the one who justified for their asset? Yes, of course, you will let me know, say that the account, finance, they are the one who do all these things. But for their asset, it's not limit on share. It's not limit on the asset, equipment. But when we mention about asset, there's some asset is only can rely on professional, which is the valuable. We get to know in fixed asset, there is land, the property, the equipment, the motor vehicle. So all these things we can get a professional to value. But when you get the accountant to calculate, but when you want to value the land, you want to value for the building, menara, you couldn't just simply get an account to look at the purchase price, the history price, and just let them know that this is the fixed price. You still need to get the valuer to value. And especially when you want to have a land to convert all these things, you need to get a valuer. So accountant is not enough. You still need a profession in valuation, and that is valuable. And how about property manager? Do you familiar with property manager? If you are staying in the condominium, you will realize you need to pay for the monthly maintenance. Monthly maintenance, when you pay, what is the purpose? Of course, we get to know the lift we pay, the lighting we pay, the swimming pool, the landscape we pay. But other than that, we are paying a professional fees for property manager. Why we name it as professional fees? Do they really deliver any service or professionalism to the owner, to the occupier? What do you think? Yes, they did. As we get to know that everything, we also try to have cost saving, and they are the one who help us to manage. And for property, whether the value increase or not is super rely on property manager. Why? It's just like a toys for you. I believe everyone, you have a toys, or you will have something that you love so much. So try to imagine if you have a toys, if you have a laptop or PS4, it's the same item. When you want to sell to someone or when you want to buy, you prefer to buy a look, both are second-hand, but you like to purchase, buy a more look like a brand new one or a lousy one, which is CD broken, that is not complete. The screen also cracked. So which one will you choose? If I were you, I would choose the look like brand new one, although it's not brand new, because it seems like still can use for long term. Better than this one, the screen is cracked already and the buttons seem like difficult to press. So that same goes to property manager role. With their professionalism, with their professional advice, they will let you know that how to maintain your building. Is it time to paint? Is it time to check for the lift? Is it time to upgrade something or change the lighting? So all these things is how it increase the value. So there's two property here. One is have a very good management. They care about the cost efficiency. They care about the security. But another one is just like a basic. They do not have someone to patrol for the unit, which means they do not care about it. They just like everyone to enter the house. So in this situation, is it those with a better management, better security will have a higher value? Yes, definitely. We want to have a more secure environment and a more cost-saving environment. So with this, the property manager is playing their very good role to deliver a good property for us as an occupier or owner. So they are playing a very important role. So we can see regardless you are land, you are residential, you are commercial, you are industry, definitely you still need to look for three of them. What happened to them and how they link it. Of course, regardless which type of property that you want, you can find a seller to get it, but sometimes we don't know. So you need to look for the agent. And when the seller offer you a price, you will wonder, is it a fair price? Do I buy expensive or is it worth to buy? Don't worry, we look for the valuable. And after we buy, do I have the time to manage? Do I have a sufficient knowledge on real estate to understand it? So you look for a property manager. So that's why they will relate in every type of real estate. Don't worry, definitely you can see them. Sorry. Leon, can you share the slide that Kiki sent?
Give me a second.
Sorry for the technical error, yeah. So far, do you have a better idea on what is the real estate and what is this three row works on? I hope everyone is good. Can I get some response from the floor?
Yes, very good.
Is it this slide? I'll hang on.
Okay,
Just,
after the type of property. Okay. Okay. So let me, I can see. Thank you, Monisha, that you have a better idea, but Cai Ziqian, no worry, no idea. We also no idea. Of course, when we want to explore a new thing, we are no idea. That's why we are here. So what is the real estate? We get to know only house lah. I stay in the house, then this is a real estate. This is what we know. But if you want to know further, we need to learn from it and explore more. So how to explore more, we can see in IUMW, there is one degree called Real Estate Management and Auction. So we can see in these 3 years, this is how we spend our time here. We learn for the very basic thing first. We learn from the valuation, how a valuer value a property. We learn the law. In Malaysia, personally, I really feel like real estate is very safe because everything relates to law. If you don't know, you look for the law. If you're not sure, you look for the law, and everything comes with a guide. There's no gray area, there's no hanky-panky, and never goes wrong. And we also can see nowadays, I believe you all are like to play with the technology thing. So we learn from the IT in real estate. What is IT in real estate? Do you aware nowadays a lot of 3D? So what we will learn is a 3D modeling in the IT subject and surveying. Construct a property is very simple. Like what we can imagine is you just put a rib brake, after that you just arrange and just knock, that's it. But for a stable property, you need to have a very good foundation. It's just like every one of you. I believe you are having a very good foundation, which you complete from standard 1 to standard 6, form 1 to form 5, and ready for the next level. So same goes to that. For the surveying is the foundation that we need for the subsequent subject, and land economy, so that we can know that what is the development, what is the future for the environment, for the economy, so that we can have a better idea to share our knowledge to our client. Statistic, economy, apply valuation. Valuable is the one who value for all type of property. So as a basic thing we can get to know is the house, shop lot, industry, that's it. But how about hospital? How about petrol station? How about cinema? So as we get to know that last year, because of pandemic, cinema A was take over cinema B. So what is the price that they take over? Of course, as I just now mentioned, the account can calculate what is the cost. But if you want to take over the whole cinema, the place, the location, then we might need to get a valuer to come in. Because the cinema B might say, oh, this is very good business, we want to sell high. But valuer is the one who say that is it worth or not. That's why we'll learn further on the apply valuation, urban planning. I'm not sure where you stay, but definitely if you stay in Malaysia, this is how we can see. There's only two things. Either you see traffic light or you see roundabout. But do you realize sometimes some area have a lot of roundabout, but some area everywhere also traffic light, even though a very short distance, 100 meters also have a traffic light. Why? And when, yeah, KL have a lot of roundabout. So when we are rushing, and all this roundabout is really like very annoying. Because if why you don't want to go out, or traffic light, if you're in good mood, everything is green or everything in red. So all these things we will learn in the urban planning to understand that why they put roundabout instead of traffic light or traffic light instead of roundabout. And building technology and service. As I mentioned, property manager is the one who take care for all your property. They are the one who take care for the cost efficiency. It's not limit to the security, but they also take care for the landscape, for the design, for the layout. So building technology is very important to make sure that the property manager, they get to know that what is the structure, how is the building, and is it something that we can enhance to improve the value and also cost saving. And subsequently, the maintenance management. It's just like everyone. I believe definitely if you stay your house for maybe more than 5 or 10 years, definitely you have one maintenance at least. What is a maintenance? Maybe you have service your aircon, maybe you have service your toilet or sewerage or drainage that nearby. So all these things is under the maintenance management. So with that, the property manager, they will know that what is something that we need to service, and is there something that we need to check regularly, or there's a certain time frame for us to check. So we will learn from the maintenance management and real estate management. Yes, it's just like DMB, PM, or any corporate, GLC, Toyota, they have building, they have their own so-called own office or corporate office, but is it all office belong to them? If they have so many branch, so many office, who is the one who take care? Is it only the branch manager? Not necessary. Sometimes they still need a profession in real estate to take care, so that they will give the advice to the management to let them know that, is it time to further expand? Or we can share, or we can leverage. So all these things we'll discuss in the real estate management. Professional ethic and practice is just like other profession. Yes, understand that the property manager, you can see quite numbers in the road, but they are still is a profession. They have been recognized by the board. They are being governed. They are being regulated. It's not like other occupation. So we can see if you are just a normal admin exec, it's fine. You are just need to follow the law from your company, policy from your company, that's it. But if you are someone profession in the real estate, you are being governed by the act. So the act is spelled out what you can do or you cannot do. So this is what we will learn through from the professional ethic and practice, so that we know that what is the thing that we should deliver to our client. Consumer and buyer behavior. Yes, we need to know that what is the response from the prospect. Estate agency law and practice. It's just like other professions as well. If you are a lawyer, is a doctor, you still have to have your own practice. So example, if you go to hospital or clinic, what is the action that we do? We need to register. Subsequently, we will see the doctor. And regardless of which doctor you see, they are come with the standard answer. How do you feel today? Do you cough? How you cough? How many times you cough? It's very standard because this is their practice. Same goes to estate agency law and practice. We have our own practice. This is something, the guideline that we need to follow, because we are under the board and we are the professional delivering the professional service. Real estate development. How? Why some properties so fast, some properties so slow? It's because of the real estate development. It depends on the state or the wilayah. So what is the procedure? How can we construct a property? Is a vacant land that I just built my house there? Can we do that? So we will learn through all the detail in the real estate development, facilities and asset management. Same goes to the similar to the maintenance management, but maintenance is just maintenance. Facilities is specific on the facilities. What is the facilities? Lift, swimming pool, so playground. All this is under the facility and asset management and research methodology. Yes, we are here to become a profession in real estate, but we also need to know further. We need to explore more, and we need to forecast what will happen. But all these things we cannot just like the simple judgment, just ask the next talk, hey, what do you think? This is what we will do. It's just like, I believe during this period, you all will ask each other, hey, how is the exam paper? Is it okay? Hey, what you want to do later on? So all these things is very common for us. But as we are going for the tertiary study, our thought need to be different. And for the research methodology and also the another paper here is the academic project. So these two papers is train your critical thinking and problem solving, because we are here as a profession, we are here to help our client to solve the problem. So problem solving and critical thinking is a very important skill for all the working adult. I believe you're facing that during your secondary school, but it's also good for us to polish our skill in the tertiary study. So auction is the bonus for this program, because in Malaysia, other college also provide for the real estate management. They also get ready for the student to get a license. But auction is the only knowledge that you can obtain in IUMW. Why I say so special about auction? Of course, when we get to know economics not good, then they long, it seems like so common. But who is the one to do for the arrangement? You need to have an auctioneer who get the license. But how to get the license? I thought the auctioneer just knock the table, then say, okay, deal, 1, 2, 3, deal. Is that simple? It's not that simple. They need to know the process, they need to know the procedure, and all these things you can learn from the auction in our degree, and also real estate marketing and real estate market research. So I will mention these two together is because what we see as a consumer is the marketing. You can see promotion, you can see discount, you can see rebate, you can see like the apps, you can see free shipping, you can see free delivery. All these things they are doing marketing. But before they do marketing, how they know I like all these things? Actually, I like rebate instead of free shipping. I like free gift instead of free delivery. Do they know that? They know that. How? They do market research. So regardless in which field, we also need to do the market research, then go for the marketing. Of course, maybe you will say that market research is same. Everyone is doing the same marketing research, same marketing. What's so special about real estate? Yes, real estate really is special because there's only one item that you can find in the specific location with the specific item. You couldn't say that I don't like this house, I want to buy that house. Yes, you may go for buy another house, but you couldn't compare directly. It's unlike the service. It's just like when you go for the Starbucks. If you go to your house Starbucks and go for the Genting Starbucks, is it different? Actually, the Starbucks is same. Why it make you different? It's because the location. So now the question is the Starbucks different or the real estate is different? The real estate is different because the location is different. So we can see the difference is come from the real estate, and that's why real estate marketing and real estate market research becomes so important. You couldn't sell one product to an individual. Of course, Starbucks is a brand, everyone will go for it because of Starbucks. But when you go to Genting, you also will try to taste the Starbucks because you get to know that the weather and this is very cool together. And business valuation is related to the valuation that I mentioned just now. So we need to know for the valuation, the asset, and also how it relates to the business. Because when we want to take over the business, sometimes it's too many professions in, also might be confused. So you might have the accountant and also the valuer to work together. And the valuer also will let you know that this is under our portfolio or that will be under the account portfolio. So they will explain further. And are you ready to move forward? Then we will get ready for the industry training. Because we go for all the 3 years program. 2.5 years, we go for the education, we learn from the theory, we learn from the profession. But are we really ready to go to the field? No worry, we will give you 20 weeks to experience that. So as we get to know that, after the degree, you can immediately register for the probationary valuer or estate agent. So with this, we are giving you 20 weeks to experience that. You can go for the intern with estate agent, valuer, or property management. You can experience that. And this is you experience. And of course, if you found that this is something that, yes, I want it, then you can straight away apply the license with the board. Or you found that, oh, I go for it, but it seems like it's not so suitable for my character. I want to change. Yes, you still can change, which means if you go to estate agent as a property manager, property agent, you feel that you are not so prefer with this job, maybe because of the time arrangement or what, then you will go for apply the license for valuable. It's no harm. There's no say that you must, when you go for intern for A, you must get the license from A. It's not related, but it definitely is a very good opportunity for the student to experience it, to know that what is the job do. So next slide, please. So this is a 3 years program. How you can go for this program is after your SPM, you will go for the next level. Either is the foundation or A-level or diploma. And after that, you will come for this degree. So as mentioned, we will have a lecture, we have a tutorial and industry training. Lecture will be the knowledge sharing. Tutorial will be the knowledge explore, and also industry training to find out what is your interest. And all these things is combined with the final exam and coursework. So we will have either 50-50, 40-60, or 60-40 for our exam and also the coursework. So next. And the advantage for our program in IUMW is we are being recognized by the board, BOVIA, RICS, and RISM. So Board of Valuable Appraiser and Estate Agent, they are the one who manage for all the profession license for the real estate related, which is these 3 roles. It's just same like goes for the doctor, engineer, lawyer. Like lawyer, they are governed by Bar Council. So this one is governed by the board. And of course, we also have additional bonus, which is RICS and RISM, which is related to the surveyor. Do you still remember we will go through a paper called Introduction to Surveying? So with that, you are getting the basic knowledge as a valuer, and subsequently when you become a valuer, you can apply license from them as well. And of course, what is IUMW? IUMW is International University of Malaya Wales. And when Malaya Wales, it means that this is a combined between UM and University of Wales. As a members of UM, we also enjoy the benefit to access to UM facilities. Just to share with you, we just have our convocation on yesterday in UM Chancellor Building. So it's also very good for us to enjoy the benefit from the public university as well. So flexible study modes, which we have class on weekend or weekday, depends on the subject offer. And industry-based learning, as I mentioned, we will have 20 weeks to go through to understand that what is the program offer and what is the real world that we are going to explore, to see that is it relate to us and is something we needed. And definitely it's an affordable tuition fees. And for the tuition fees for our IUMW, you're also allowed to apply for the PTPTN. So for the tuition fees, maybe Edumetry and Kiki will explain further later. So next slide is, oh yeah, before you join us, I also believe like what this now is who already, Zixuan mentioned, he still no idea what we're talking about. But no worry, we also understand that sometimes we only know property, but in deeper we are not exploring because we have our main task, we have our main focus. It's just like you guys, what your focus right now is SPM exam. And what next? Definitely is enjoy your time, right? You are not going to jump into another study environment. Definitely, it same goes to us. So when you want to have some leisure time, some enjoy moment, I would like to share with you, this is what we are going to offer, the residential tenancy bill. So as mentioned, I feel like real estate is very good. Everything is really good act. It's just like this. Why it's bill? It's not an act. Because residential tenancy bill is being discussed in the parliament at this moment. So before they go to the bacaan 3, it still remains as a bill in the under the discussion. And once 3 go through for the 3 bacaan, they will endorse by the YD Yang Betul Agong, then only become a residential tenancy act. So before it become an act, now it's open for the discussion by the public, and there's some issue that raised up by the public. So that's why we have an honor to invite the National Home Buyer Secretary, Dato' Chang Kim Long, to give out a thought, to share with us what is residential tenancy bill. So personally, I really feel like this is very good for you guys to explore first. Why? First, you will know why there's such thing, why real estate relate to law. And second, if you are an individual that going to have a study in other place, which is not at your own hometown, when you move out, you might need to lease a house, rent a house. So when you rent a house, you are one of the party related to the residential tenancy bill. So it's very important for you to know that what is your benefit, how it protect you. So this is very good for us to explore, or maybe you might plan to invest in property in the future. So when you want to invest, this is also something that relate to you, or your parents, this is something relate to you. Is it good for us as an owner, or is it good for us as a tenant? Then we will explore more during this talk. And of course, for our program, we are going to have different topics every month. And of course, in next week, we also just confirm we are going to have the policymaker to share with what is affordable housing. What is affordable housing? Anyone have any idea? I believe when we mention affordable housing, everyone come with a different idea. Everyone come with a different pricing, because we are experiencing with different own economy. Our every individual inflation, our every individual economy is different. Although a burger, 5 ringgit, it might cheap to someone, but it might be expensive for someone. So that's why we want to study what is affordable housing. And it's very helpful when you become the professional in real estate, because as an estate agent, you know better how you should advise to your client. As a valuer, you will know that now the market is overvalued or undervalued. And as a property manager, we will know that even though this is an affordable housing, but I will take care of it like a luxury product, so that when it's up secondhand, when it's subsale, the value is much more worth it, and all the owner will get the benefit. So this is what we are going to have it in end of this month as well. So next. That's all from me. So is there any question, you can just raise your hand. And of course, myself, Kiki, and the Edumetry is here to ready to answer all you guys. So Zixuan, do you have a better idea now?
Right, students, if you have any more questions, please feel free to put it in the chat. I think so far we have a few questions on our side. I think Ms. Lee, just now you mentioned that some areas we have a lot of roundabouts, some areas we have a lot of traffic lights. Is there a reason for that? Like, why some areas they prefer different options?
Actually, there's a reason. Of course, before the reason, they go through the study. So when they go through a study, they will go through and understand that what is the needs for this area, the population, the development. Is this a residential area or commercial area? They will study, and subsequently only they will decide. So all these things actually is related to the urban planning. I believe the latest that I can recall is the Subang Jaya Airport. Do you remember they shift the Kampung Subang? It's quite a long time. The Kampung Subang, they shift the area. So when that movement is the urban planning, and actually like now the MBSJ Subang Jaya, they also doing some local they also doing some planning, the new plan, urban plan for that area, because Subang Jaya we know, SS15 we know, is super high dense. So with that, they are trying to do some arrangement to see how can they improve the town area. So for every new development, definitely, it's not like we can see, hey, why suddenly here have this building, why suddenly there's a new development, and all this, they come with a reason. The urban planning, the policymaker, they will make a very good study, a detailed study on that area. Only they will see what is the product, which is what type of property that they can plan it there, so that for the next 20 years for the development.
Okay. So maybe going back to this course, right? So let's say once a student graduate from this degree, what kind of career options do they have?
Okay, of course, the most advantage is you register with the board to become a registered estate agent. You become a registered valuer. You become a registered property manager. So this is the three main things that we are focused on. Of course, we are not saying that if you're not doing these three, you have nowhere to go. It's unlike other degree. So allow me to share some example. When we have no idea what we want to do, we go for business admin. This is very common. I'm not sure for nowadays generation, but for my generation, we don't know what to do. Okay, jump or go for the business administration. Why? It's very good. When you go out, you can do anything. Same goes to real estate. For this real estate, you also can do anything. When you go out, yes, the first priority, you can apply for the license as a license holder so that your status will similar with the doctor, lawyer, engineer with those license holder. But sometimes we will feel like I don't want to be a license holder because when you have a license, you feel like you might have more burden. It's fine. Then you can work for the property developer because property developer, regardless which department that you're in, what you learn in these 3 years definitely is sufficient for them. Because as a developer, they are doing from nothing to something. So when the nothing part, you learn the surveying paper, you learn the real estate development. And when the middle part, you learn marketing. And lastly, you after the marketing, you learn all the law paper. So with the law, it's very support for the administration part. And lastly, when the property is handover, developer is finished their work, but doesn't mean you have finished your work because subsequently there's someone is jumping in called property management, property manager. And with the property manager, property management subject that you learn, you can continue for the last part. So regardless which department that you're in, definitely you will get a job in property developer. And I believe everyone do aware when we go for the property developer, they definitely need a lot of manpower because they are keep on developing. And in a growth company, in a developed company, you have more job opportunity. So developer is the industry that you can go. And subsequently, you also can go for the corporate. Any corporate, if they have an asset, definitely they need someone to take care. Takkan ask the accountant to take care, right? Yeah, so like what we can see in the KL, Menara TM, Menara UOA. So all these Menara, they definitely has a department to take care for their asset. Of course, they might have named it differently. Maybe it's a property management, asset management, or real estate management. But regardless what they name it, anything that relates to the real estate, your skill, your knowledge that you learn in IUMW definitely is sufficient for you to for the corporate. So this is the basic thing that we can see. And further detail, maybe you will say that, no, I don't want to work for a corporate. I want to go for the more small company to experience that. So I believe you will think about you'll go back to the service line as well. So you go for the third party company. So what is the third party company? The third party company that we can see is they are selling their service. So when they sell their service, what you learn in the maintenance management, facility management, then the service part is the opportunity that you can get, or you can go for the marketing. Sometimes they are just purely work as a marketing agent. So when the marketing agent role, you also can apply because you learn market research, you learn marketing, and also you learn from the research methodology, which is a critical thinking. So with the knowledge, you also can go to that department. So this subject, this course is better than the rest is because I can say it's a mixed mode. It's just like a doctor and a lawyer, no choice. When you go for day one, go for the doctor and the lawyer, that's it. At the end of the study, you still will go back for that profession because if you're not go back, it's quite wasted. But for this paper, it's slightly like a mixed mode. You can go for the profession or you can go for the normal other occupation that you want. But it doesn't stop you to get the license, although you are go for the property developer, but it never stop you to apply the license. And of course, you can use your license to have you can as a business, because as an estate agent, of course you need to work as an estate agent, but you also can have your own business. That's fine. But of course, the business is depends on what type of business. And you as a valuer, if you feel so bored with a valuer, you can get the E license to work as a valuer and also the estate agent. You can have a different type of business. So I think it's a mixed mode because as an estate agent, you also need to work as admin. So it's a mixture for you. It's not like lawyer and doctor. As we get to know, If you are the doctor, unlikely you will go to registration counter to help the patient to register.
That is good. There's a lot of cross-transferable skills. Yeah. Going back to these licenses, right? Is it something that they have to, take a test or write a paper to get it, or do they just apply it and then they can get it?
Yeah, definitely. As a profession, you definitely need to go through for the written paper exam, and subsequently we'll have an oral exam, then only you will get the license. So the best part in IUMW for the BREMA subject is the written exam is the degree. Which you complete the degree is similar with the written exam. So after that, you will go through for the practical training again. And after the practical training, you will go for the oral interview. And that is the result for you to get the license.
Okay, well, so part of the degree is part of the what they call that, qualifying requirements to apply for the license, right?
Yes.
That's good. Wow.
BREMA is one of the degree that allowed to go for the practical. Of course, other than BREMA, you can go for other subject, but bear in mind is the difference between us and others is we have the option paper first, and subsequently we are not doing the as 100% exam mode. If you go for the InSpan or other academic program, they might be 100% exam mode, but we are mixed mode. And of course, some of the colleges, they also provide the mixed mode, but the difference is we are giving lecture, tutorial, training, and also we will have some event for our students because we cannot just focus on education. We also want to, from time to time, to let our students get the industry update. We need to let the student know that what is happening and what is how our current subject, our study is related to the real world. So we will invite the profession to our campus to deliver the sharing. So like what we get in this month is we get the Dato Chang from the National Home Buyer to share with us the latest news, the residential tenancy bill, and we get the policy maker in this month as well to share with us what is the affordable housing. And next month we are going to have the value world to share with us what is the subject, the task in valuation. So before we go for industry training, we can understand further from the profession, and subsequently when we choose the industry training, we have a better idea. So the lead time for the student to get lost is quite less, because from time to time we will guide the student to make sure that no worry, we will tell you what is that, so that you will have a better idea and it will easier for you to choose, to understand that your character, your behavior, or attitude is suitable for which profession.
Oh, that's cool. I think mentioning about valuation, right? Maybe can we do a very, very simple, brief example, on how valuation works. So for example, we know that properties in KL are definitely more expensive compared to properties, say, in Klang. So can you give us a very quick explanation on why there is this difference in price in terms of valuation?
Okay, if I cannot explain in very brief, because this seems like it's a history, because we get to know that KL is a CBD, Central Business District. The CBD area, the town center, and the Klang is different. Yes, both are so-called a development city, but we can see they are different. When they are different, why? The location is different. So when you want to go to work, or the MNC, they want to have their own business, they mostly will go for the KL. Every foreigner know KL, but not everyone know Klang. Okay, so this is the difference. So subsequently, we also can see the structure for KL and Klang is different. So for KL, we can get to know mostly it's commercial. So when the commercial is a lot, the residential is quite limited.
Okay.
But compared to Klang, I'm not sure which part of Klang, because we get to know Klang also quite big. We can see from last year the flood is very affected. Yeah. Oh yeah, from the flood we can get to know that actually the residential is more than the commercial, because quite a numbers of individuals, they are lost their house at that particular period, and they can only come back to their house after 1 week. So we can see in Klang residential area is residential property is small. So now I back to your question, how we value. So of course, when I want to sell you, if there's hundreds apples and one orange. So is it the one orange is like more precious and I should sell you more expensive?
I think so. Yeah, supply demand, right?
Yeah, so that's why we can see when you want to stay in KL and you want to stay in Klang, the price is different already. So this is a very base thing that we can understand. But of course, subsequently, the valuation, we want to see the transportation, the infrastructure. Is it KL have a better infrastructure? Okay, not mention KL. KL, we mentioned property A and property B in Klang. So can we see the infrastructure for property A and the B? So which have a more convenient infrastructure? So we have a more convenient transportation. So all these things also will relate to the valuation. Of course, when you have everything is better, your value is higher. It's just like us. If you are study, it's not saying you are not good, but if you study further, if you have more knowledge, of course, you will have more value for yourself. And that's why if you go for the BREMA, it have more value for you. It's because you are not study a basic degree to get a basic job, but you have a chance to get a professional license. So that's why BREMA definitely is more value compared to the others subject if you are looking for the similar program.
I also want to add on that the fact that you choose this real estate program is a form of specialization where you get licenses, and because it's specialized, naturally, like your ability to find job is also much higher because it's a competitive environment out there. With licenses, you make yourself stand out. You have a competitive advantage out there, and also there are so many different boards supporting real estate industry. There's so many job opportunity in the real estate industry itself, because Malaysia is developing. Naturally, a lot more job vacancies will be available for students who graduate from this program, as mentioned by Ms. Chin Yi several times.
Yeah, speaking of job opportunities, right? What kind of challenges are there, in this industry?
Challenges in this industry.
Yeah.
I think the challenges, the first stage of challenges is how we can make ourselves comfort to the environment. Because this is what I share with my students. When you want to go for the estate agent, so what is the thing that you the environment expect? They expect you to be well in communication. They expect you to well in the networking. They expect you to have more flexible arrangement. So this is the expectation for the real estate agent. Can you make it? So this is something that is quite challenging. Depends on individual. This is not a challenge for everyone, but sometimes we feel so not comfort to speak in front of others or the stranger, or we are not flexible to arrange our time. We are just like, oh, weekend, I must get the rest. I cannot go out. I must have a happy hour with my friend. But if you're as an estate agent, you couldn't say this statement, because you are trying to flexible to make sure that you're able to get the deal done. And sometimes it's as a normal white collar workers, they are having works on weekday. So you need to arrange your time to cater for their needs. So which means sometimes weekend you need to work. So this is for the estate agent. And for the valuer is, I just feel like you need to have a very good physical fitness. I have a joke with a valuer that day. I say what he told me is that valuer is the most suffered job. I say, why? He say, you know why? There's one day, because I want to value for the estate, I need to walk around the whole estate. Then I say, oh, valuer need to have very good physical fitness. And of course, for the valuable, the difference for the estate agent is, of course, every deal. If you get the deal done, then you get a very good pay. But for the valuable is also based on the same theory. They also based on project based, but somehow their basic is not that high. So of course, if you want to compare for others, I just can say that if you want to compare with others, please compare with the profession. Don't compare with the other occupation. So like the property management as well. Property management sometimes is the property manager is the profession, but everything is come from the basic. It's just like doctor. Even though when they become a so-called doctor, when they are doing the houseman, what they do? They are doing very boring work. They are doing recording every day. They are going to check the medicine, is it correct or not? All these very basic things. or the lawyer, what they do, so-called lawyer, but when they're chambering, what they do, they are doing the administration work. They are do filing every day. They are doing the update or key document every day. So same goes to property manager. When you are going through the property management, property manager, what they expect you to do is you need to go for the, this is what I can share with you. Some example is you might need to go through for the water meter. So when the condo is 500 unit, you need to go through the 500 water meter and check for the water meter numbers. You need to go and jalan-jalan for all the facilities to see that what is something wrong. Or yes, there's a lift, but you couldn't use the lift because you need to use the staircase to make sure that every level, the lighting is okay, or you need to check anything that you need to check, you're walking the staircase instead of having a lift. So all these things is something that we might need to go through. And when I mentioned about the pay, the salary, of course, this is someone that everyone care. So when we mention about the pay, what I say that you need to compare the BRIMA future, the career, compare with the profession instead of other occupation. Why I say so? So in general, we get to know that if you complete your degree, what is the first pay that you can receive? 2,000 plus. This is what we expect after my degree. But when you, after your degree, that is another level already. So when we mention about professional, 2,000 plus is a normal occupation you get as a exact position in any company, but not profession. But when we mention about a profession, so what pay that you receive? Auditor, account. When you want to become an accountant, you go for audit. So audit paid a lower pay compared to the standard pay, 2,000 plus. Auditor have a lower pay. Doctor, if you want to become a doctor in Malaysia, as we get to know, if you want to become a doctor in Malaysia, you definitely need to go to the government hospital. After you complete your houseman in government hospital, then only you will get the so-called doctor, complete your study, then only you go for the private or open your own clinic. So when you go for that houseman, your pay also very less. You don't, they are not going to expect a big pay like what we say, oh, a doctor, lawyer earn a big money. Yes, that's after, not now. At the initial stage, doctor also receive a very low pay. And lawyer, what is the pay that lawyer receive? Also not high. They also just receive maybe 2,000 plus or lesser. Yes, lawyer is a profession, receive 2,000 plus. You study a general degree, work as a general staff, also 2,000 plus. Yes, it's same. But for the BRIMA subject, if you are the estate agent, you are expect, depends on the organization, sometimes you expect zero basic. As a valuer, you might expect up 1,000 plus to 2,000 salary basic. And for the property management, this is slightly better. Their pay is slightly better than the first two roles. But if you want to, but after you get the license, after you get the deal, as an estate agent, for every property, can you imagine one property we get to know is more than 500,000. So you calculate, if more than 500,000, you are getting a 2% commission. And for that 2% commission is around 10,000. But this 10,000, of course, you need to pay back to the firm and yourself. So we assume 50-50, you are getting 5,000. If you get a deal 1 month, you have received 5,000 per month. Of course, it's not easy when we are first doing this business, but when long-term is possible. So that's why if you're getting a license, you are the firm, you are the boss. So you are, without you doing the deal, but you also receive the pay from the 2% deal. So definitely it's a better pay in long run. And for the valuable is project-based. So we can get to know for a very project, we will receive the, every property will receive the price from the valuation. And valuation, actually how long you do the work. For the normal residential property, you just go to the house and jalan-jalan and come back and do the report, and everything might be done in 1 day, and you are earning few hundred. So in long run, you are the firm as well. So you are not limited to the individual business. You are open for corporate. Estate. Estate is few million per project. So few million project, how much you are going to receive? And for a property manager, you are no longer the one who go and do the water meter recording or go and check the safety staircase, but you are the one who manage. And what they paid is your professional fees. just like a lawyer, when they listen to you, they're charging you the fees, professional fees. So same goes to property manager. They are paying you every month for your professional advice. Although you are not going to advise them every month because it depends on the case-to-case situation, but you still can go through for that. You still will get the payment for the professional advice later.